Hello, welcome to this video. I've had many questions recently about how to take information or information from an IDEA file and transfer it into Python in order for some type of analysis to be done in Python. So I thought I'd create this short video on how to do it because there is functionality within IDEA itself, or not so much IDEA itself, but installed with the IDEA installation that allows you to do this quite easily. So as of version, I think it was 10.4 of IDEA, IDEA can now use Python as a scripting language. And one thing people like to do is to take the information out of an IDEA database, so you're doing some type of analysis, and maybe you want to do something further with it in Python. So how you would end up transferring information from an IDEA database, like an IMD file or an IDM file, depending on whether you're using the Unicode or the ASCII version, is fairly straightforward. In the installation of IDEA, there's something called the IDEAlib.py module, and that comes pre-installed with IDEA. So if you're actually accessing it or running a Python script directly from IDEA, you don't actually need to do anything. You have access to this module. But if you do any of your Python development outside of IDEA, then you would need to copy it over. And what you'd have to do is you'd have to go find it. It can be found here. So in a normal installation, it's under C program files, caseware IDEA, lib, site packages, and you just go look for the IDEAlib.py and just copy that over into whatever folder you're using for your Python development. So when you want to actually write code to access this module, you just use the regular import functionality, and I've created a bit of a script here just to go through the different steps on how we actually do it. So the IDEAlib.py, what it does is it'll take an IDEA file and transform it into a Pandas data frame. So whenever you're actually doing anything, you need to have the IDEAlib accessible, and you also have to have Pandas accessible. So you have to have that installed or available for your Python application. So I've created a little Jupyter notebook here that'll just go through it. I'm going to take an IDEA file, bring it into Python or Pandas data frame, do something to it, and then we're going to send it back to IDEA. And I'll show you how simple it is. So first off, we have to do the imports. So I'll just run that. So I'm importing the IDEAlib. So what I've done is I've copied this package over to the folder that I'm working in so that this installation can find it. And I've also downloaded and installed the Pandas module. Next thing we want to do is we want to call the IDEA client. So this allows Python to access the functionality within IDEA. And this is easy enough. It's just part of the IDEAlib. And you just call it the IDEAlib.IDEA client. So I'll run that. And then after that, you will load in your file. Now, right now, I've got the Unicode version of IDEA installed, but it works the exact same way for the ASCII version. You just end up going to change the extension. So I'm going to take the sample detailed sales file. So you can see you've got the sample detailed sales file here in IDEA. And I'm using the IDEA client. So I'll just run this. So this takes actually, depending on how large of the file, it could take a few seconds or several minutes to copy the information over from IDEA into Python. So if I go run cell, if I go back to IDEA, you can see here it's opened the file, it's exported the database, and then if we go back, we can see that now it is complete. So now it is part of the DF. So now it's actually a data frame. And we can just double check here by showing what the data frame is. I'll just run that. And we can see here that we've got the 900 rows by 10 columns. If we go back to IDEA, we see there's 900 records. And if we look at the first couple of transactions and do a comparison, we can see that they're the same thing. Now I'm just going to do a little extraction here. I'm going to just extract all the transactions for the first quarter. So I'm doing this in Python. This is something we can do in IDEA also, but I'm just doing it in Python as a demonstration. So I'll just go run this. And we can see here we've got 171 rows, 10 columns. So this is our result. And finally, we are going to save this back into IDEA. And how we do this is, again, we use the IDEA lib module. There's a function called IDEA to our pi to IDEA. And what we do is we give it the variable that holds the data frame, and we give it the name of the file. And we don't need to do a .imd or IDM for the extension, because the module knows which version of IDEA you're using, and it will add on the proper extension. So if I go just run this, and sometimes it gives this error, we can just ignore it, so it's been complete. So if I go back into IDEA, and I have to do a refresh because I didn't do a client refresh in Python. So we see first quarter invoices. We see there's 171 records. And here we go, open it up. If we go back and compare, it is the same thing as here with 171 rows. So that is how easy it is to take information from IDEA, transfer it into Python, do a little bit of analysis, and then transfer it back into IDEA. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.